guys! So today I'm going to be doing a tag video for you. It's the 50 questions to ask and answer tag, I guess. I'm just going to keep calling it that. Callie did it on her blog, but first coffee. She has a blog and a YouTube channel, but she posted it to her blog. Maybe I should be posting it to my blog too because it is long, 50 questions. But I'm going to give it a go doing it here. Let's just get started. So, question number 1, what are your nicknames? What do you prefer to be called? I don't really have any nicknames. At times I have tried to make Chris stick, short for Christy obviously, but it doesn't really ever stick. Nobody seems to like it, so I'm just Christy. Question number 2, what books on your shelf are begging to be read? Lots of them. How often do you doodle? What do your doodles look like? Stars, hearts, pentagrams, flowers. That's about the... yeah. What do you do if you can't sleep at night? Generally I'll try to fight through it, which I realize isn't what you're supposed to do, but I kind of do it anyway. If I know I'm not going to be able to sleep and like I really have to, sometimes I will go get like a cup of hot milk or chamomile tea, or sometimes I'll do both and I'll get both and make a hot milky cup of really strong chamomile tea in hopes that both will work better than one. How many days would you last in solitary confinement? How would you do it? Like if I just had to sit there alone and bored, I probably wouldn't last very long. I'm not good with nothing to do. How would you last though sounds like you're gonna die or go crazy. Which I might go crazy. Do you save old greeting cards and letters or do you throw them away? I don't get a lot of cards or letters, but I would probably try to keep most of them if they meant anything to me. Yeah, if they were like for people I didn't care about or stuff, I wouldn't keep them, but from like friends and family and stuff that meant something, I would keep that. Who is the biggest pack rat you know? Possibly my dad or my mom. Both of them are pretty bad about that. Like we're currently in the process of moving and thus getting rid of some stuff, and we have several extra toasters. What? Like, why do we have extra toasters? We've been using the same toaster for like 10 years. I don't even know where they came from. When making an entrance to a party, do you make your presence known? Do you slip in and look for someone you know? Do you sneak in quietly and find a safe spot to roost? Assuming it wasn't just a party of like my 6 friends, which is what parties for me usually look like, I would probably come in and try to find someone I know. And if I couldn't find anyone I knew, I would be texting everyone I know was supposed to be coming and be like, where are you going to be here? I'm all by myself. What is your strongest sense? If you had to give one up, which would it be? My strongest sense... taste, maybe? Probably either taste or sight. If I had to give one up... see, I could see the argument for giving up taste, because if you gave up taste but you could still smell, you would still be able to enjoy your food. Taste might be the most useless sense. Because if you give up smell, that would be giving up a lot of things. You'd also like put yourself in danger. Hearing you could be dangerous and also really hard. Sight would be just crippling. So I think taste might be the least important, and also you could kind of supplement it by being able to smell and also still being able to feel like textures and stuff. But I would give it up very hesitantly. How many times a day do you look at yourself in a mirror? Kind of whenever I pass one, I'll look in it. I'm pretty bad about that. I'm kind of self-conscious, so I'm always worried that I look okay. I have a mirror in my purse as well in case I need to like fix my lipstick or anything, but I don't use it very often. Pretty much only pull out my purse mirror if I know I need to put on more lipstick or if I've got something in my eye. What's the strangest thing you believed as a child? I don't know. I was a really skeptical kid. Like, you know all those stupid things kids tell you, like schoolyard kids tell each other? I was always like, that's not true. Maybe the stupidest thing I believed, I know I didn't believe it very long, but I think somebody told me one time that the little like sweetness that you could like suck out of honeysuckle flowers, like you know they have like the tiny little tube petals and you can like suck out something sweet. They told me that's where they got honey. And I probably believed that for all of a day. What is one guilty pleasure you enjoy too much to give up? And I definitely agree with Callie. Coffee is my #1 thing. If I had to give up everything else, I couldn't give up coffee. It's like part of who I am. Who performs the most random acts of kindness out of everyone you know? My guess would probably be David. He really likes making other people happy. So he's the most likely to do something nice for people. He's most likely to come into somebody's house and start cleaning or buy them something random or yeah, he kind of just likes helping. It's kind of weird. Does that mean? I don't know. How often do you read the newspaper? Which paper? Which sections? I never read the newspaper. I mostly get my news through friends who link me to articles on the internet, or through Reddit myself, or through blogs or videos, but yeah, I don't read the newspaper. Which animals scare you the most and why? Spiders? Animals? If spiders count, then definitely spiders. Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? I avoid conflict at all costs. Not an especially argumentative person, except with very select people who get the honor of arguing with me. What was the most recent compliment you've received and savored? I've been getting a lot of compliments on my hair recently, like from people who don't necessarily usually compliment me, which is kind of nice. Either that or just from David, because he compliments me a lot, but it's always really nice. What is something about yourself that you hope will change but probably never will? I don't know, I'm not sure I want to say that it probably never will, but I would like to change, like, my weight, I guess. I'm kind of trying to see it more as changing my healthiness, because I feel like it's more healthy that way. Is that weird? Okay. I would like to do that, and I've never proven in the past that I'm any good at it, but I am giving it another go. Are you a creature of habit? Explain. I definitely am. If you give me a schedule, I'm like, oh yeah, we got me a schedule. And I will follow it. I love having a schedule. I love knowing what's going to happen. And anytime something shifts, it totally throws me off for at least a couple of weeks, at least a week. I'm like totally uncomfortable. Everything needs to change. And yeah. Yeah. Are you high maintenance? Explain. I'm not sure. I would probably be less high maintenance if I had my own job, because I would have my own money and I wouldn't be worrying about that. I'd be a lot more independent, I think. I think I sort of tend towards being an independent person, but right now that is very difficult because I kind of need other people to support me until I finally get a job. When's the last time you really pushed yourself to your physical limits? I'm not sure. I'm a very lazy person, so it takes a lot to get me to do really hard physical things. Do you have a lot of acquaintances or just a few very close friends? Definitely a few very close friends, and that's just the way I prefer it. I'm kind of a loner. I don't have a lot of energy for social things, so I guess you could say that I do have a few acquaintances because I know and have met several bloggers that are like here in Vancouver, and there's a few that I talk to online sometimes. And I guess that would be more acquaintances than friends. But yeah, I just have very few close friends who I see all the time, and that's just how I like it. I like having deep, meaningful conversations and friendships, and yeah. And being an introvert, I have very, very little energy for awkward social things, or just good social things. It's very draining for me. I need alone time. Are you more inclined to build your own empire or unleash the potential of others? I don't really know. Maybe build my own empire. I don't really do a lot to help other people, but I don't really know how I would. So neither, with a slight bend towards building my own empire. What's a strange occurrence you've experienced that have never or rarely shared with anyone? The only thing I can think of is the time that me and my friends were having a sleepover. I was sleeping over at their house. We were convinced that we'd seen a ghost, that it was like this little girl peering under the curtains outside. They like didn't quite, it was like a glass door, but it didn't, the curtains on them didn't quite hit the ground, so there was like this much, and we were convinced that there was like a girl outside staring at us. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about more than anything else? I'm not really sure. Planning, maybe? I really like planning. I like knowing what's happening tonight, what's happening tomorrow, what are we doing next weekend. So I'm always trying to like figure out the plan. I'm always filling in my planner. What's something that amazes you? Lots of things amaze me. I think we live in a pretty amazing world. There's lots of really weird things. Some things that amaze me are pretty horrible, like just how bad people can be to each other, how stupid they can be, how ignorant, but also like just how like beautiful the earth can be. Like it doesn't it's illogical how perfect some things are. I don't know, nature, like how beautiful tigers are and forests. You prefer the people shoot straight with you or temper their words? For the most part, I guess just shoot straight. There's not usually much point in mincing your words. It just makes you less clear. So yeah, just tell me what you mean. It's a lot easier that way, and then I can know that I'm telling you what I mean and that you won't be offended, because it's what you want as well if you're doing it. So yeah, it's really just easier that way if everyone is straight with each other. What's your favorite place to take an out-of-town guest? I don't really get out-of-town guests, so I'm not sure I really have an answer for that. I don't know if I could think of anything really amazing to do in the area to like wow somebody about how awesome this place is. I don't know, I guess if they like Indian food, I might take them to Aroma. If you live anywhere near like Vancouver, Tri-Cities, Burnaby, I would recommend, if you like Indian food, going to Aroma restaurant, which is in Port Moody, and it's really, really good. What's one thing you'd rather pay someone to do than do it yourself? Clean. I hate cleaning. Do you have a catchphrase? Not really. I feel like the things I say change quite frequently, but I do always kind of have something that I'm saying a lot. One thing that I've been saying a lot recently, which I think is Brittany's fault, is just you do you. But it's like, it's also like my life philosophy, and it fits in so many situations. So just like always do you. What is your reaction towards people who are outspoken about their beliefs? What conditions cause you to dislike or conversely enjoy talking with them? I guess my reaction would kind of depend on what those beliefs are and how pushy they are about them, because you can be outspoken about your beliefs without trying to make other people believe the same thing. So as long as you're not being pushy, you're just sort of saying what you believe, that's fine. I don't mind. You do you. Believe what you want to believe as long as it's not hurting anyone. I'm totally fine with that. Just don't try to expect that I will believe the same thing. I mean, I'm open to a conversation as long as they're willing to listen to me and are willing to be respectful, and in the end realize that I'm probably not going to change my beliefs just because they want me to. So that would be very, very important to a conversation with somebody who is that outspoken about their beliefs. How and where do you prefer to study? At night, in bed, basically, or on my bed. Yeah. What position do you sleep in? Usually on my side, but sometimes on my back. I pretty much never sleep on my stomach, except when I do. But usually, yeah, usually my side. What is your all-time favorite town or city, and why? I mean, I've only been to a couple of cities, I guess. Most of them are in the general Vancouver area, or the greater Vancouver area. Vancouver, Victoria, Seattle, Bellingham, stuff like that. Probably either Vancouver or Coquitlam. They're good places. But like, I haven't been to anywhere super fancy or anything, so if I had, it would probably be like London or something would be my favorite. What are the top 3 qualities that draw you to someone new? Probably sense of humor, intelligence, and similar likes. How has your birth order, characteristics of siblings affected you? I am the oldest of 2 sisters. I'm not really sure how it's affected me. I was 6 when my sister was born, which is, I know, a lot older than some people when their siblings are born. The age difference between us is quite big compared to most people that I know. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it's affected us. If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? It'd be nice to sort of lessen my introvertedness. I think it makes me sort of scared to go out and try new things. It makes it really hard to get a job because I'm probably really shit at interviews. And it's hard just to go into places and ask for a job, like apply and stuff, and it's hard to meet managers. It's hard just to meet new people. So, I mean, my life would probably be easier if I wasn't an introvert, because this world is not set up for introverts. If you could restore one broken relationship, which would it be? I kind of have an answer, but I don't really feel like I'm at liberty to say. I also don't really know how it would be fixed. I think that's pretty impossible at this point. Yeah, let's just move on. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to? I don't think I would change my first name. I don't think if I changed my name, I would answer to my new name. But if I did change my name, I might change it to either Leanne or Serena, which is kind of just my favorite name. Do you believe ignorance is bliss? Why or why not? I suppose in some ways just because you don't know what you don't know, but I pretty highly value knowing and knowledge and intelligence, so I would prefer to know. What do you consider unforgivable? Disloyalty? Like, I can think of examples where you could be disloyal without it being unforgivable, but like the highest version of disloyalty would be like cheating and stuff like that, and I think that's pretty unforgivable personally. Have you forgiven yourself for past personal failures? Why or why not? I guess so. I mean, I'm still pretty mad that I failed physics in university because I shouldn't have taken it in the first place. But aside from that, I suppose I have forgiven myself for most of my failures because there's really no point in not forgiving yourself. You should learn from them, you should remember your failures, but you shouldn't like dwell on them, I suppose. How difficult is it for you to forgive someone who refuses to apologize? If someone's going to refuse to apologize for something that was actually their fault, I would probably have a really hard time with that. If it was something that like was more like an argument, then I'd probably get over it whether or not they apologized eventually. Do you hold any convictions that you would be willing to die for? I don't have a good answer for this one. My like gut instinct is no. I can't think of anything that I would be willing to die for, so I can't really say yes, absolutely yes. To what extent do you trust people? That's a tricky question. I think in general, people are selfish and not very helpful and mostly out for themselves when they're not thinking about it. I think like when you get down to like friends and family and stuff, people want to help each other and they want to have good relationships. So in that way, I would trust the people like that I like and that I've chosen or that are my family. But just for people in general, I don't trust most people. Like as far as like actually trusting, I don't really. I don't trust people on the internet. I don't trust people in real life. It's probably a reason why I don't really talk to people. I don't meet people easily. I'm just very hesitant of strangers. What area of your life are you immature? I'm kind of immature in a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways that I don't like responsibility. I hate cleaning up. I'm really bad at waking up in the morning. I like to stay up late. What was the best news you ever received? I can't think of anything in particular that I was really excited about. How difficult is it for you to be honest even when your words may be hurtful or unpopular? Depending on who I'm talking to, it's easier or harder to be honest, and also what it is. I don't like to be hurtful, so if I have to say something that might be considered hurtful, then I do like to sort of sugarcoat. Unpopular opinions I'm less scared of, especially with friends. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care about my unpopular opinions, especially if I think they're important. I will share them. I don't mind being like the one person saying something different because I feel like another side of the story needs to be shared and considered, especially online. I'm more likely to do it through text communication just because I feel like I do express myself better through text than I do through like speaking to people. I'm not as bad on camera as I am in real life just because I kind of get like tongue-tied and I can't think of all the things that I need to say or that I want to say or that I should be saying, and I'll think of them later when it isn't applicable anymore, and it really sucks. When did you immediately click with someone you just met? Why? What was the long-term result? Conversely, are you close with anyone now that you really disliked at first? One example I can think of is someone that I'm actually no longer friends with, so clearly that didn't go on too well, but I did really like her when I first met her. I'm not really gonna mention her. I don't know that she watches my videos. In fact, I doubt that she does, but yeah. We don't talk anymore and things went horribly wrong with her and our friend group. So yeah, but we did sort of click when we first met and we were really good friends for a little while and then things went to shit. Conversely, people that I did not necessarily like when I first met them and then have grown to really like are actually like my two favorite people in the entire world. One main example of somebody who I didn't like and now I like a lot more would probably be Brittany. And finally, question 50. When do you find yourself singing? I basically sing if there's a song that I really like. If I'm watching a musical that I know all the words to, I will sing along with that. When I'm alone, when I'm in the car, especially if I'm alone, but sometimes if I'm with people and I just really like the song, or I'm with Brittany or David, I don't really care. Yeah, I really like singing. So yeah, that is the tag video. I hope that it's not super crazy long or anything. It probably is, but maybe I can cut it down to be a reasonable length. If it is 15, 16 minutes or something, I will be pretty happy. But those are the 50 questions to ask and answer. I will leave all the questions down below, as well as Callie's original blog post, so you can go and read her answers as well. I'm not going to tag anyone because this isn't really a tag video, it's just kind of a question answer video. Speaking of which, if you want me to do a question and answer video, leave questions down below. I don't get a lot of engagement, so I'm not expecting any comments with questions, but I would really like to do a Q&A video if anyone is interested in the future. So if I get some questions, I will save them up until I have enough. And that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to see more videos from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!